Welcome back to Bullion and Beyond. Today we are entering one of the most mysterious and controversial stories in the world of coin collecting and historical artifacts. Across social media, online marketplaces and video platforms, a strange brass coin carrying the image of Saint Kabir in the year 1400 has created massive excitement among collectors, treasure hunters and history lovers. Some people believe this object is an ancient hidden treasure connected to forgotten empires and secret royal wealth. Others claim it is worth millions of dollars and could change the life of anyone lucky enough to own one. Viral videos show dramatic close-ups of the coin while sellers present emotional stories about rare discoveries, mysterious family inheritances and underground treasure finds. But behind all the excitement lies one important question. Is this mysterious Saint Kabir coin truly an ancient fortune, or is it simply a modern illusion carefully designed to appear historical and valuable? The fascination begins the moment someone sees the token for the first time. The brass surface appears aged and worn. The dark patches and green oxidation create the visual impression of extreme antiquity. The engraved year 1400 immediately triggers thoughts of medieval kingdoms, ancient temples, and forgotten civilizations. For many viewers, the presence of Saint Kabir on the token adds even more emotional and spiritual power. Kabir remains one of the most respected spiritual poets and philosophers in South Asian history. His teachings crossed religious boundaries and inspired millions of people over several centuries. Because of this powerful cultural connection, many people instantly assume the token must belong to an ancient historical era directly connected to Kabir himself. As the internet amplified these claims, thousands of people began searching for similar coins in old collections, antique boxes, family inheritance items, and local markets. Social media videos spread rapidly showing creators holding the token while claiming unbelievable prices and hidden historical secrets. Some videos described the token as a royal issue from medieval India, while others called it a sacred coin used by followers of Saint Kabir hundreds of years ago. Emotional background music, dramatic storytelling, and sensational titles transformed the object into a global mystery. For many viewers, the dream became irresistible. The possibility that an old forgotten brass token might secretly be worth millions of dollars created enormous excitement across the online world. However, when professional historians, numismatists, and metal experts carefully studied these objects, the truth became far more complicated. To understand the real story, we must first travel back into the historical world where Saint Kabir actually lived. Historical records place Kabir somewhere between the late 14th century and the early 15th century. He was not a king, emperor, or political ruler. He was a mystic poet, spiritual reformer, and philosopher whose teachings challenged social divisions and religious conflict. Kabir spoke about truth, simplicity, humanity, and devotion. His verses criticized hypocrisy and encouraged people to seek spiritual understanding beyond rituals and external appearances. His words spread across generations and eventually became part of the spiritual heritage of the Indian subcontinent. The historical environment during Kabir's lifetime is extremely important in understanding why this token creates so much confusion. During that period, much of northern India was ruled by the Delhi Sultanate. Official coinage produced under these rulers followed Islamic artistic traditions. Coins generally displayed Arabic or Persian inscriptions and focused heavily on religious calligraphy rather than portraits or human figures. The idea of an official government coin from the year 1400 carrying the image of Saint Kabir does not match the known historical practices of that era. Furthermore, Kabir himself was not a political authority who controlled a royal mint capable of producing official state currency. Experts also point out another major issue involving the script and design style found on these tokens. Many examples display lettering styles and artistic patterns inconsistent with genuine medieval coinage. Ancient hand-struck coins usually contain irregular spacing, uneven impressions, and imperfect alignment because they were created manually using primitive tools. Each coin often appeared slightly different due to the limitations of medieval minting technology. But the Saint Kabir brass tokens commonly seen online display highly uniform shapes, symmetrical designs, and consistent stamping patterns, suggesting the use of modern industrial machinery rather than ancient hand-striking methods. This realization leads numismatists toward a different classification entirely. Instead of official ancient coins, experts identify these objects as temple tokens, devotional medallions, or Ramatanka-style pieces. For centuries, religious centers, pilgrimage sites and devotional markets across India produced tokens honoring God's saints, spiritual teachers and sacred symbols. Pilgrims purchased these items as blessing souvenirs or spiritual keepsakes. They were never intended to function as legal currency. Their purpose was emotional, religious and commemorative rather than economic. Temple tokens have a long and fascinating history throughout South Asia. Many were made using brass, copper, mixed alloys or inexpensive metals so they could be distributed widely among devotees. Some carried images of Hindu deities while others honored saints, mystics or famous spiritual figures. The dates stamped onto such objects were often symbolic rather than historically accurate. In some cases, the numbers represented religious eras, spiritual timelines or culturally significant dates. In other situations, manufacturers intentionally selected old dates simply to create the appearance of antiquity and mystery. The year 1400, on the Saint Kabir token, is particularly powerful because it immediately connects the object to the medieval world. Most ordinary viewers naturally assume that any object bearing such an old date must itself originate from that historical period. This psychological effect dramatically increases curiosity and perceived value. Sellers and online creators understand this reaction very well, which is why many exaggerated stories surrounding these tokens continue spreading rapidly. One of the strongest pieces of evidence exposing the modern origin of these tokens comes from metallurgical testing. Specialists analyzing similar examples discovered that the metal composition matches modern brass alloys rather than the materials commonly used during the medieval era. Ancient coins often contain impurities and alloy structures reflecting the technology available at the time they were produced. Modern industrial brass, however, contains highly controlled chemical compositions impossible to achieve using 15th-century manufacturing techniques. These scientific findings strongly suggest that the tokens were produced relatively recently despite their antique appearance. The aging effects visible on many specimens create another important source of misunderstanding. Numerous tokens display dark surfaces, green corrosion and uneven discoloration. To inexperienced viewers, these features appear to confirm centuries of natural aging and burial underground. Yet professional restorers and metal experts explain that artificial patina techniques are extremely common within the replica and souvenir market. Through chemical treatments, acid washes and controlled oxidation processes, manufacturers can quickly produce convincing antique effects on modern metal objects. A newly created brass token can be transformed into something appearing hundreds of years old within a surprisingly short time. This practice is not unique to Saint Kabir tokens. Around the world, many decorative collectibles, replicas and souvenir artifacts receive artificial aging treatments to increase visual appeal and market interest. Antique-style furniture, paintings, statues and coins are frequently modified to imitate age because buyers often associate worn appearance with authenticity and historical importance. The human mind naturally connects corrosion, scratches and faded surfaces with ancient history, even when those effects were created artificially in modern workshops. As the internet expanded access to global marketplaces, these devotional tokens entered a completely new commercial environment. Online platforms allowed sellers from different regions to advertise directly to massive international audiences. Sensational claims about rare historical discoveries spread faster than ever before. Some listings described the Saint Kabir token as a hidden royal artifact, while others claimed it belonged to secret treasure collections recovered from ancient temples or buried vaults. Extraordinary prices sometimes appeared alongside emotional stories designed to convince buyers that they were witnessing a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Many inexperienced collectors became convinced they had discovered something historically priceless. Stories emerged of people searching through inherited coin boxes and finding similar tokens hidden among ordinary objects. Some individuals believed they possessed ancient wealth capable of transforming their financial future. The emotional excitement surrounding these discoveries often prevented careful research and historical verification. Hope, imagination, and the dream of sudden fortune became stronger than critical analysis. Professional numismatists continuously warn collectors about the dangers of misinformation in the modern coin market. Authentic ancient coins require extensive examination involving weight analysis, edge inspection, metal composition, die comparison, historical documentation, and provenance research. Museums, auction houses, and academic specialists spend years verifying important historical artifacts before confirming authenticity. Genuine medieval coins are extremely rare and usually well documented within scholarly records. Objects suddenly appearing online with dramatic stories but lacking historical evidence should always be approached carefully. The Saint Kabir token represents a perfect example of how visual appearance, emotional storytelling, and internet culture can combine to create powerful myths around ordinary objects. The token itself may indeed hold cultural, spiritual, and artistic significance. Many devotees value such items as reminders of faith, tradition, and personal belief. However, the leap from devotional souvenir to million-dollar ancient treasure is unsupported by historical evidence and scientific analysis. Still, the fascination surrounding these tokens continues growing because humans are naturally attracted to mystery, hidden treasure, and forgotten history. Throughout history, people have dreamed about discovering rare artifacts buried beneath the earth, hidden inside old houses, or passed secretly through generations. Stories about lost fortunes, ancient coins, and hidden kingdoms trigger deep emotions connected to adventure, curiosity, and hope. Social media amplifies these emotions by transforming ordinary discoveries into dramatic global mysteries within hours. The irony within this story becomes even deeper when considering the teachings of Saint Kabir himself. Kabir consistently spoke against material obsession, greed, and superficial appearances. His philosophy encouraged people to search for inner truth rather than external wealth. Yet today his image appears on tokens falsely promoted as gateways to unimaginable riches. In many ways, the modern myths surrounding these objects completely contradict the spiritual values Kabir spent his life teaching. Understanding the real nature of these tokens does not destroy their importance. In fact, the truth may make them even more meaningful. Rather than imaginary royal treasure, they become cultural objects reflecting religious devotion, artistic tradition, and the continuing influence of Saint Kabir's legacy across modern society. Their true value lies not in fantasies of million-dollar auctions but in the spiritual and historical connections they represent for countless people. Collectors can still appreciate these tokens as fascinating examples of devotional art and cultural memory. They reveal how spiritual traditions continue evolving through modern craftsmanship and popular culture. They also demonstrate how internet myths can transform ordinary objects into global sensations almost overnight. For historians, numismatists, and collectors, the Saint Kabir mystery serves as an important reminder about the need for evidence, careful research, and historical understanding. The modern coin market remains filled with exaggerated stories similar to this one. Every year new rumors emerge about rare pennies, secret minting errors, mysterious foreign coins, and supposedly priceless antiques. Some claims contain small fragments of truth while others are entirely fictional. Viral videos often prioritize entertainment and emotional excitement over historical accuracy because sensational content attracts more attention, views, and engagement. This is why education remains essential for anyone entering the world of coin collecting. Learning about minting techniques, metal composition, historical periods, and authentication methods helps collectors separate genuine discoveries from misleading myths. True numismatics is not simply about chasing fortune. It is about understanding history, culture, economics, politics, religion, and human creativity through the objects societies leave behind. The Saint Kabir 1400 brass token ultimately teaches us something larger than simple coin collecting. It reveals how modern society interacts with history, spirituality, and digital media. A small brass object transformed into a worldwide mystery because people desperately want to believe that extraordinary discoveries still exist hidden within ordinary life. The emotional power of that possibility continues driving millions of searches, conversations, and viral videos every single day. At the same time, this mystery reminds us that historical truth requires patience, evidence, and careful investigation. Appearances alone cannot confirm authenticity. A date stamped onto metal does not automatically prove ancient origin. Artificial aging does not equal historical legitimacy. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, especially when money, fame, and internet attention become involved. Even though these tokens are not priceless medieval coins, they still hold an undeniable charm. Their designs, their connection to Saint Kabir, and the stories surrounding them continue capturing imaginations around the world. In that sense, they have already achieved something remarkable. They transformed from simple devotional objects into symbols of curiosity, mystery, and the eternal human search for hidden meaning within history. Thank you for watching Bullion and Beyond. If you enjoy uncovering the hidden truths behind mysterious coins, rare collectibles and historical legends, make sure to subscribe and continue exploring the fascinating world of numismatics with us. Every coin tells a story, and sometimes the greatest mystery is not the object itself but the legends people create around it.